Hey, Canucks fans. Welcome to the Line Change Podcast, a presentation of DraftKings. The crown is yours. The Line Change Podcast is also a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, every team, everywhere. In this video, we're going to be talking about some updates from the Canucks practice this morning and the surprising news that Jake Debrusk will be a healthy scratch for tomorrow's game against the Seattle Kraken. He was the extra forward during line rushes along with David Kampf, as well as Chytil. But Foote revealed after practice that Debrusk will be a healthy scratch. And then we also even hear from Debrusk himself reacting to the news that, he was going to be a healthy scratch. And apparently Foote and Debrusk, they had a talk, and Foote talked to him about it, and of course we got a reaction from Jake Debrusk. I'm actually going to pull up exactly what he said, just because I thought it was quite interesting to actually hear Debrusk himself talk about it. This is an excerpt from an article from Canucks Army written by friend of the podcast, David Quads. And he goes on to say, on Sunday, the Vancouver Canucks took to the ice at Rogers Arena for a practice after falling 6-3 to the San Jose Sharks the night before. But there's one major story that broke at today's session that requires individual attention. Jake Debrusk is set to be a healthy scratch for the Canucks Monday night against the Seattle Kraken. Debrusk skated as the extra forward in line rushes, and after practice, Canucks head coach confirmed that Debrusk would be the odd man out tomorrow night. This is a quote from Adam Foote. We had a good talk with Jake. Foote said after practice, he had a lot going well for him, just couldn't get it in, and then he's been a little stale as far as chances 5-on-5. I think it's going to be a good reset for him. Debrusk met with the media after practice and spoke candidly about the decision. It's embarrassing, said Debrusk. I mean, anytime you miss a game, it's embarrassing. I'd be wrong if I wasn't saying I'd be pissed off right now, but I understand, and I need a jolt too. I obviously haven't been good enough. Anytime that you're in this position, it's a lot of things. So, I got to control what I can do from this point forward and just worry about me. I think there's a lot of different things. Good thing about this situation, in my previous times being scratched, you have a clean slate, so I care less about what has happened. Let's take a look at the next part. Debrusk, who's in year 2 of a 7-year deal with the Canucks worth $5.5 million annually, has scored just 1 goal at even strength this season. 8 of his 9 goals have come on the power play, and Debrusk knows that 5-on-5 production isn't good enough. I've been known my whole career as a 5-on-5 contributor, and it hasn't come. It's been probably the most frustrating year of my career by far. So, eventually you just got to do the right things. Got to do the right details, got to get to your landmarks, get back to your ABCs. I think that's what this is about too for me, and eventually they'll go in. Usually I have a hot streak, but it seems like this year there probably isn't going to be one, so you just got to be more consistent day in and day out. You got to be mature in the spot, you got to be a pro, and hope the guys can pull out a win. Debrusk added that while he's shocked to find himself a scratch, he can understand the thinking behind it. It's pretty black and white, but yeah, it's always a surprise. It's always a shock, but I think that's just the nature of the beast. I think every time someone gets scratched, it's a shock, but I kind of understood the reasons why, and I think that in itself makes you look in the mirror. And now, as I said earlier, it's just about playing my game when I'm back. One final side note, massive credit goes out to Debrusk for facing the music and talking so openly about his feelings towards the scratch. Plenty of players would have refused to speak on a day like today, but Debrusk stood in there and gave the thoughtful and honest answers. He deserves credit for that. And I absolutely 100% agree with Quads on that. He does deserve credit for it. And, even like gathering notes, talking about this, I saw some people even going on social media saying, put him on the trade block, trade Debrusk. It's like, okay, you just hear what Debrusk just said, handle this professionally, and your immediate thought is trade him. Like, I don't understand that. And not gonna lie, that kind of actually pisses me off a little bit. It's like, the guy's being open about being scratched. Yes, he's not playing well right now, but you also signed him to a fucking 7-year contract and your first thought is to trade the guy because he's a veteran, at this point, just fucking trade everybody then at this point. If you're going to automatically go with the whole trade them bullshit. Like, seriously, that fucking pisses me off. Like, not everyone's going to get traded. Some people are going to stay. And I believe Debrusk is one of them. But sorry about that little mini rant. It's just that stuff just grinds my fucking gears, man. So obviously Debrusk is not happy about this, and why would he be happy about it? He hasn't been scratched since he was a part of the Boston Bruins. Now I get it. As was mentioned in the article, he hasn't been producing at all, especially at 5-on-5. But if you're going to healthy scratch someone to try and get them out of a funk, why not healthy scratch Besser too while you're at it? That was my first initial thought before I actually got more notes about, practice. And obviously, I mentioned earlier, David Kampf is also going to be a healthy scratch. So prior to me knowing that David Kampf was going to be scratched, I was, saying, why not scratch Besser too? If you're going to scratch Debrusk, may as well scratch Besser too, because he hasn't been pulling his weight or playing well. He's been in a massive goal drought right now. Give him a night off or have him sit for one night. I don't see why they're specifically pointing out Debrusk, especially with Foote's comments saying, he's just not producing 5-on-5. I don't have Besser's 5-on-5 stats right in front of me, but like I said, he's in a goal drought right now. So why don't you sit him too while you're at it? But now that I know that David Kampf is sitting out, that's probably why Besser is still in. We have also some more notes from today's practice. We also have the line combinations, which are getting a quote-unquote shakeup. Honestly, I still don't think Foote knows what he's doing with the line combinations, but that's just me. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys agree with that. But yeah, let's check out the line combinations real quick. So as you can see here from JPAT, so first line, Kane, Elias Pettersson, and Besser. So they've reunited Besser with Elias Pettersson. You got Ogren, Rossi, and Garland. So Ogren is being moved up to the second line to play with Rossi and Garland. I think that's actually quite the interesting line too, having Rossi and Garland. Although some would say both Rossi and Garland are both playmakers, so I don't know. O'Connor, Raty, and Sherwood. So as we said, Raty is back in the lineup. Hoglander, Sasson, and Carlson is your fourth line. So once again, as we mentioned earlier, it looks like Niels Hoglander will be replacing Jake Debrusk, but he'll be on the fourth line with Sasson and Carlson. And then, of course, you had Debrusk, Kampf, and Chytil as the extras, at least for the forwards. Then you had your defensive pairings, Marcus Pettersson, Hronek, Bulliam, Myers, DPD, Villander. And you had P.O. Joseph as a extra for the defenseman. So there's your line combinations. So as I mentioned, it looks like Niels Hoglander and Aatu Raty will be in for the game against Seattle. Raty, of course, having missed 4 out of the last 6 games, while Hoglander has missed the last 3, both of them being healthy scratches. We do have some more notes from practice. Let me just see if I can find them. What am I? I got a nasty trigger finger. So here we go. In regards to Brock Besser being reunited with Elias Pettersson, in an effort to get Brock Besser going, the Canucks are reuniting with Elias Pettersson. Those two will have Evander Kane on their line. Ogren, as I mentioned, gets bumped up to a second line opportunity with fellow newcomer Marco Rossi and Connor Garland. And then we have more notes. The other news of the day was head coach Adam Foote confirming that Filip Chytil is ramping up for a return to game action perhaps sooner than many had anticipated. The Czech center out since October 19th with a head injury, skated with the group for a second straight day. Once again, he wore a red non-contact jersey, but Foote said on Sunday that Chytil could play quote-unquote within weeks. No one in the organization is putting any firm timeline on Chytil getting back in uniform, and all of this is subject to him not experiencing any kind of setback. but the fact that Chytil was on the ice with the team for a second straight day indicates that he got through Saturday's morning skate without issue. He skated as an extra on Sunday, but was an active participant in all of the team's drills. And then also, the Canucks coach confirmed that Kevin Lankinen will start on Monday in Seattle, while Thatcher Demko will get the nod at home against Philadelphia on Tuesday. Canucks have a second set of back-to-back games later in the week. The goalies will likely split those games at home against Seattle and Boston. Is that it? Yeah. So there's the notes. So as I mentioned, Kevin Lankinen gets the start against the Kraken tomorrow, while Demko will start against the Flyers on Tuesday, the game I'll be going to. So that's pretty exciting and hopefully increases our chances of a win. I know we all want to lose and tank, but can we at least just beat the stinking Flyers so I can rub it in my wife's face? Please? I mean, we lost to them the other week. Can I just one win? How about this? Can they lose to the Kraken tomorrow and then beat the Flyers so I can rub it in my wife's face? I hope she doesn't freaking see this because I'm but all kidding and jokes aside, we also heard from Adam Foote. We just touched on Chytil and his progress, saying he could be back within weeks. He's actually saying, within 2 to 3 weeks, and less than 4 for Chytil. Says he had a really good couple of weeks and hasn't had a setback in a couple weeks. Foote also spoke about Hoglander as well at practice. And before we actually dive into Hoglander, I'm going to thank my sponsors real quick, starting off with my primary sponsor, as I always do. Big shout out and thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting book app of the NHL. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, well, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's just for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Pass-through of per wager. Tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright of the NHL 2025, all rights reserved. And then a quick shout out and thank you to my secondary sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork you see in front of you and the artwork that you usually see behind my shoulder while watching. You guys can check him out at gassyjackart.com. He's got some great stuff, so go ahead and check him out for sure. Now let's get back to the Canucks practice and what we're talking about. As I mentioned, Adam Foote spoke about Nils Hoglander getting him back in the lineup, as well as him having been scratched the last 3 games. And then here's a quote from Adam Foote. He goes, "When you miss that much time, and we had some wins going on too, it's just getting reps. He plays so well below the tops of the circles. He's on that puck, just pushing those routes and that pace. When you miss time, you don't necessarily have your legs completely. Even though you put the work in for 2 months, it's hard. It's hard in a game situation. He was going to come out with 3 and 4 anyway, and we won a few there. He understands, but he looked like he was really hungry today." So that is the quotes from Adam Foote. Let me actually just see if there is anything else I may have missed from practice. No, that is all from practice that I can see, at least. But on that note, let me know in the comment section down below what do you guys think about Jake Debrusk being a healthy scratch against the Seattle Kraken tomorrow night. Same thing with David Kampf. Although I think more people are going to react to Jake Debrusk as opposed to David Kampf. Like, nothing against Kampf at all, really, at all. But I think more people are going to be not necessarily causing a hoot about Jake Debrusk being scratched, but I think more people are surprised about Debrusk than they would be about someone like David Kampf. Yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about that. And yeah, even just, preparing to do this video, I really got me thinking about, Adam Foote and how he's been as a head coach. I will admit, hearing about, Debrusk being a healthy scratch, it's making me kind of lean towards, what the hell is Adam Foote doing? And it's making me lean towards, like, maybe we need to get this guy the hell out of here. Because he's inexperienced. He can't do line combinations. Like, he's changing the lines so much, and he can't, be consistent with it. He's actually, a lot of people will probably joke about saying, like, he chat GPT is his freaking line combinations. And, just his inexperience. And the whole purpose and point behind bringing in Adam Foote, in my opinion, was to keep Quinn Hughes. Well, guess what? Quinn Hughes ain't here anymore. Quinn Hughes is gone. So what's the point of having Adam Foote around now? I mean, yes, those who are wanting us to lose and wanting us to tank probably want to keep him because he sucks. And he's terrible with offense, And so perhaps that's a good thing for the tank and for, picking in the top 3, top 2, or even getting the first overall, getting, Gavin McKenna. But, I was kind of thinking, and maybe you can call this a little bit of a hot take too. And you can basically say, how about this? The Canucks finish second or dead last in the league at the end of the season. They get a top 3 pick. I'm not saying first overall, but they get at least a top 3 pick. They pick in the top 3, and then they end up picking multiple times in the first round. And, once the draft is over, is Adam Foote. Adam Foote gets the boot, pun intended, and the Canucks either promote Manny Malhotra as the new head coach, or they go and they get Pete DeBoer. And there you go. How about that for a hot take? And just so you guys know, you guys heard it here first. On the line change, I said it, December 28th, 2025. That is a hot take for me. I also had a hot take on Clay's morning stream this morning, basically saying, Canucks are going to wait for Braden Coots to be a full-time member of the Vancouver Canucks, and they're going to name him captain. So they're not going to go with a captain for the rest of the year or next year or possibly even the year after that. So 2 years without a captain, and then they name Braden Coots as the captain. That's more like a running joke than an actual full-on hot take. Just because, they talk so glowingly about Braden Coots and, the fact that he's so mature for his age, the fact that he's captain of his junior team as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What did you guys think? What did you guys think about everything that happened at practice this morning? the whole Jake Debrusk scratch, David Kemp being scratched, Ratu getting back into the lineup. A lot of people are like up in arms about the fact that Ratu's been getting, so consistently scratched and, not been giving, a chance in the lineup. I know he's had some defensive mishaps, but look past him. Like, he's still young, and you need to give the kid a freaking chance, or else he's not going to grow. And then Hoglander, I guess I can kind of understand a little bit because, he is coming off ankle surgery and he needs to get his feet underneath him. But at the same time, play him. That's how he gets his feet underneath him. You play him. So really glad that Hoglander is going to be back in the lineup. I do think that, hopefully if Hoglander can get his legs underneath him, maybe put up some production, hopefully he can move up in the lineup because I do think he should be higher up than on the fourth line. But I understand it. They're wanting to ease him in and whatnot. But yeah, and what are you guys' thoughts on Kevin Lankinen getting the start against the Seattle Kraken, and then of course Demko playing the Philadelphia Flyers? Also, let me know some score predictions for tomorrow night as well as Tuesday. Let me know about them in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. Go ahead and join our Discord. Join the discussion. There is a link to it in the description down below. It's completely free to join. So go ahead and join that. You can find and interact with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. We're everywhere. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. And of course, as always, if you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcast. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us on either platform. Also, give us a download on either platform, as it really helps out the channel and really helps out the podcast as well. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this these Canucks practice updates. Debrusk being scratched, the line shakeups, and a possible Filipino return timeline. Obviously, once Chytil returns, and same thing with Blueger. Apparently, we didn't hear anything about Blueger, at least from what I looked for, or even forward for that matter. No updates on those two. But once Chytil comes back, once Blueger comes back, we kind of talked about it on the post-game show earlier this morning / last night. There's going to be a logjam down the middle for the Canucks, and they're going to have to make some decisions. Some are going to have to get sent down. Some might even have to get waived, like David Kemp might have to get waived once Blueger, Chytil all come back, because there's going to be no space for them whatsoever. But as I said, once again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as always, let's go Canucks, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Hey, Campoli missed the puck. Ryan Johnson just gets it out. And he's dumped the puck back in. Campoli trying to clear it. Burrow shoots, scores!